Hello YouTube, Retro Dave here once again. Thought I'd bring you an updated room tour video. It's been a few months now since I'd done my first room tour video. A lot of new systems have arrived since then, some changes to the room, new bits of furniture, this, that, the other. So yeah, I thought I'd give you an updated tour. I've basically been working on this room for the past week, a couple of hours in the evening. Haven't been doing much gaming really, been trying to just sort out eBay stuff and organise where everything's going to go. And I've been out today, it's Bank Holiday Monday today, but I spent a few hours this afternoon just having a tidy around, getting everything up and running. So yeah, we're ready to show you. There's a few bits and pieces need tidying up on the floor and stuff, but only a couple of bits, but you'll see those in a minute. So yeah, let's go on with it. So I'm just going to spin the lens round now, just bear with me a moment. Right, so I've got out of the way. So this is now, this is the door, just as you come in. So I've got my poster in there. You might remember me showing you the poster that I got recently when I was in Great Yarmouth. So I'm going to pan round. So this is the new shelf. So before this was a tool chest. So as you can see down here, this is just my cleaning bits and pieces, cleaning games and bits like the other. That's the tape player I used to do the Amstrad thing yesterday. That's going back in the house. Now this is the pile of Amstrad games that I picked up that I'm yet to sort out. So this is kind of in a box on the floor. Just dumped it on here for now. Got to sort through that lot. So anyway, so this is the bookcase. Now as you can see in the bookcase, up the top we've got the model Ghostbusters car that I had before. I haven't opened it yet or built it, as you can see. I've got the old school Ghostbusters zapper. Just a bit of a novelty really. My daughter was playing with that fairly recently, but she's got a bit bored of it now, and it's been the evenings are quite light when she's in bed, so it's not really getting much use at the minute. I've got the box for the 360 up there, and a couple of photos that I've taken down to make room for other bits and pieces, so you'll see that in a minute. So top shelf, I've got my Spectrum collection. There's I'll have to do a collection video of this, but I'll just give you a quick idea. So we've got the Spectrum tapes there. On this shelf we've got GameCube and PS2. This shelf is PS1. Again, I plan to do collection videos for this lot, so don't worry about if you can't see it all now. This is the Xbox 360 and original Xbox collection there. This is my Amiga collection. That's the boxed games, I should say. And then the bottom shelf is a kind of like a sorted out shelf. So we've got Amiga discs and boxed storage boxes there. They've got discs that I've tested. So that's like kind of a to-do pile and the keep pile. Now I've got another pile of discs down there, labels on with bits missing and stuff that hasn't been tested and so on. So this is kind of a shelf that means there's bits to be sorted out, and there's a couple of bits of eBay trading stuff there and some DVDs that got going on eBay, things like that. So this is kind of a sorted out shelf, as you like. So that's why this is on the floor. This is all to be sorted out. Right, now you might have clocked to the corner of the screen. I've got my pixel art up here that I got from ABC Start beads at Revival. So I've got those up. And you might notice Zelda just down there. So if I step back now, this is the workbench, and as you can see we've got the Amiga 500 set up with Gremlins 2. So this is on the monitor. I did have this set up on a little LED TV, but I've decided the picture looks so much better on the actual monitor it should be on, as you can see. It's just running a demo there. But yeah, Amiga set up working. Zelda resides on top. So this was my workbench, but now it's been taken over by Commodore computers. This is the Commodore 64, and there's the tape deck just there, and my little pile of Commodore 64 games. So on here, as I step back, you can see this bench is taken over with computers. So on the back wall we've got the other pixel art that I bought. It's got Link there, Bowser Mario for Mario 3, and Boo and Baby Mario. And then above there we've got pictures of my old cars and bits and pieces and bangers, and yes, I've still got my car pictures up. Link resides on there with the Master Sword. So we've kind of got Chucky Egg loaded up on the Commodore 64. So this screen is purely for the Commodore. So this is my bar stool, so you sit there playing that game and then you sit that side playing Amiga stuff. So yeah, so basically, but below here, it's a bit boring down this part, but this is just stuff, that part was for the Amiga to sit on, but it's too big and bulky, so I've left it down there. And this is just like eBay packaging stuff. I've kind of kept the boxes, things I've bought, and this, that, the other. So that's kind of packagey bits for eBay, so that kind of lives under there. As you know, I do buy and sell quite a bit on there, so that's kind of out the way. Now we come over here, as you see, we've got the 14-inch portable TV for that. I've got a tape to PC converter there for converting basically cassette tapes to MP3 files for your iTunes and stuff. Haven't used it recently, but it's actually used them in as a kind of a jack up to jack the TV up to get it to the right height for the computer. So then we've got the box for the Amiga and the box for the Commodore 64. Stood on basically my filing cabinet, if you like. It's got my paperwork, me and the missus' paperwork in here. You know, all the usual crap you get, and that's why this pile of paperwork is here. I'm terrible with post. I kind of get bills and letters and stuff, and it just gets thrown into this pile that it needs to be sorted out. So every few months I kind of go through it and sort it out, so I'm due a sort out with that. Then we've got one speaker tucked down there. We've got the box for the Amstrad there, and the box of the PS2 I found in the loft the other day there. Down there I've just got chargers for charging stuff at work. Now, I'm going to keep on panning round this way and work my way right round, so you'll get to see everything behind me in a moment. So, it's a little bit dark over here because that's the only source of light, I'm afraid. Yeah, so, got the clock, got the hi-fi. You might have seen this before. Some of you people have watched my other videos. So, I've got the old Gremlins plushes there, and that one, that Gizmo actually dances and stuff. I've got an old school mobile phone. Not really with gaming related, but you know, this was our old mobile. Doesn't work anymore, but it's a proper beast. So I thought I'd leave that on display just in there because it is kind of a retro room. So yeah, the old school Sony Hi-Fi. Right, and then we've got over here the poster, old cassette poster, and I've got a couple of USB SNES controllers for the PC. For the emulation. Now I've got the Street Fighter 2 audio CD that come with the Nintendo magazine. That's great, and that's the Mario Land CD I found in the charity shop I showed in the video fairly recently. As is the Zelda Special Edition DVD. I've got the San Andreas soundtrack CD there. So I've got a box for a Mario All Stars Edition SNES, box for the PS1, and a box for a SNES there. So this is my SNES console and PAL NES console, which has been region modded, but it works, but not as good as the real deal, which we'll come to in a moment. I had this when I first started collecting again last summer really. This is an old Nintendo NES. It's a video game centre, as it kind of says there. You can see that. And it basically, that lid comes off, and you can put your NES inside and some games. I've actually got nowhere to really put it at the minute, so I've kind of got it just there with those on top of it. So I might be getting rid of this. I don't really want it anymore. I had it when I just had the Nintendo, so it's quite handy to kind of keep it away from the dust and stuff in here, because I used to have my tools in here. So that was handy at the time, but I don't need it anymore. Anyway, we'll keep going around. So as you can see, we've got Manhattan Project on, and you might wonder how that's on, and that's because I've got the American NES set up. I've actually decided that I'm gonna keep this. I did mention in my video that I might be selling it off, but it plays so well, and it plays all the games in full screen. I believe it's like 60 Hz, so really proud, really pleased with that. Whereas the PAL NES doesn't, and there's a bit of slowdown, and some of the graphics are a bit glitchy. So with this, works perfectly on this TV. So really happy. I'm going to keep that now. Although it's a little discoloured, it works perfect. I bought a UK power supply off eBay, so I'll be keeping that set up all the time. I've got the N64 there with the expansion pack in. Mario Kart 64 currently in there. I don't really play much of this 64, but I've got a few games, so I'm going to keep hold of that. Now below this bench we've got some storage bins. Now this has basically got all my old tapes in, tape packs with a bit of Garage Nation and Dreamscape and all the old school 90s tapes and my, tapes of my childhood basically I've kept. So that's basically cassette tapes. This one is a bit of a mishmash. We've got Nintendo dust leaves, head cleaner and bits and bobs like that, and memory cards. And then in this one I've got spare controllers and cables, and joysticks and bits and pieces, wires, as is this one. This is rammed with controllers basically. It's a spare controller bin. This one is almost empty, but before, I say this was all full of stuff because I've actually, all my Spectrum tapes were in these two drawers, but I've moved them up on the bookcase up there now. And in the bottom drawer here we've got like Spectrum books, code books and the Amiga stuff there. Just basically like a book drawer at the moment, all keeping the computer books in there. So as we spin around to here, we've got the box for the NES, box for the Spectrum. Now there's a little space there, and the reason that space is there is because I'm actually waiting for another system to come. I only actually ordered it the weekend, so when that comes, I will tell you. Well, I'll do a video and show you what I've got. But that is where it's going to reside. So I've made space for it. But what was once sitting there was my GameCube, which now resides on the second shelf next to the 360 and the Amstrad GX 4000. I've only got a couple of games for it, so they're kind of just sitting there. So that's on like the second shelf down. Then the next shelf I've got all my CDs. I don't use my CDs anymore, to be honest. It goes like 2 or 3 rows back, as you can see down there. So all my CDs are stacked down there. PS2, PS1, and I've just got my junk up there, tucked down the side I don't really need or want, like soldering iron and bits and pieces like that for batteries in the games and so forth. And then I've got down the side of the city, on the shelf, got a LED TV laying down that was once the monitor for the Amiga, which I've decided I'm not going to use, so I've kept that down there for now. And then on the floor, level with the carpet here, just got the case for the camcorder and recharge my batteries there for my controller, and basically all my magazines, retro game magazines, car magazines, they're all kind of like stuffed under the bottom there, if you can see that from where I am. And then on my little stall there for the beers. Might just have a mouthful of this now. Charger for the iPhone. So as I come up now, I'll show you the wall in a moment. So as we come across, we've got Pac-Man, Connect, Q-Box, GX 4000 box. Got the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Plus 2 there. Then the Amstrad is now set up in this corner next to my laptop. I was trying to get a game loaded up on this, running in the background, but the tape player is totally fucked on it. As you saw in my last video, I had it like piggybacked off of a cassette player, but it's not playing ball at the moment. I got it working earlier, but it really needs sorting out, and I'm worried I'm actually going to burn the motor out by forcing it to play when it doesn't want to move. I think it's all seized up, so I need to get that apart and get that looked at. So for now I've just left it on show, just to show that I've got it on and set up. These are some of the games I've currently been testing out. So yeah, that's as far as I've got. Those pile of tapes from the box over there, I showed you a minute ago. Now I've got some posters here. You often see that in my videos from where I sit. Got some old school Amiga posters there above it. Now I'm just going to pan round at my shelves. This is basically just Nintendo games up here. So this is my main focus of my collection. Now you may notice the glare on the top shelf and these boxes, and that's because I bought box protectors from Central 64. I basically got enough for all my box games, apart from the Game Boy games because they sold out. So the boxes used to live in these drawers here, out of the way, and I just had the cartridges out, but I've actually made a decision that I'm actually going to keep the boxes up there and display them. So for example, let's pull out Mario 3. So it's in its box protector. And it looks so much nicer in these. So I thought, well, I've got the box games I have got, I might as well, you know, keep them on the shelf. And stuff like, you know, the things I got from Time Warp Games, you know, I might as well keep them nice because they're, you know, unique. So they're now in these box protectors, you know, if you see the light there. But they look so much nicer in these protectors. You can see they're quite glossy. So yeah, really pleased with those. So I spent the other night just basically folding these plastic protectors, you know, because they come flat packed. I basically putting all my games in those, so you can just get an idea and see my SNES and NES collection. I will do a collection video for these. And then 64 games just there. These are the box Game Boy games that I have. And then my DS and 3DS, and this little basket is basically all loose Game Boy cartridges in there. So that's the top shelf. And then this shelf, we've got NES cartridges 2 high, just stacked, and N64 on the shelf as well. So I'm just kind of pan across, get an idea of what I've got. Again, I will do collection videos of these. So that's the middle shelf. Then bottom shelf is basically all my SNES cartridges. And the NES games at the back are USA. So these are all the American NES carts I have with the SNES carts in front. And the USA ones finish at the gap there's where Turtles is. So Final Fantasy. So, and these ones are the black label PAL at the back with Wild Gunman, and back is PAL games that run out of room. So SNES and NES there. So as you can see, that's what's set up there. Then this is my sofa. I've got my retro cushions there. You've probably seen these in my previous video when I did my last room tour. So that's my comfy arse settee there where I flake out. Got a Zool poster up there, which is kind of now covered because I've got this cabinet. I've got this Mega Drive box up here. I have actually got a Mega Drive. My mate Tom gave me this. So in a trade for I've got this, a PS1, boxed, and the Mario All Stars box in a trade. So I'm thinking of getting rid of this because it's kind of in the way. I don't really need it. So yeah, it's not in bad condition. It's a bit beaten up, but anyway. So now we've got this display cabinet. So I'll just give you a quick overview of this cabinet. So this is how it kind of sits in the room. It sits kind of down inside the settee next to the door. And I'll just give you an idea of what's in there. I'm not going to try. I'll just put the camera out of the way for a minute. Right, so top shelf. The light is really poor. You have to bear with me here. Got the this is my handheld cabinet. So we've got the Turtles handheld, Turtles 2 handheld, and then the Game & Watches. So the Mario Brothers, Zelda, the ball game from Club Nintendo, and Mario Brothers. So this is like the Game & Watch shelf. And in here I've got my watches. I showed 3 of these in a recent video. So they're brand new. And someone did ask a question if they're playable. They are playable, but they're brand new, so they haven't actually come out. They are actually games on there. And then Donkey Kong and Mario are used, so they sit there. Now this shelf, I've got original Game Boy and my 3DS box, Special Edition Zelda SP, which is there. And then this is my 3DS XL and my Tomitronic. This is actually mine when I was a kid. That's probably the only original thing I have got from my childhood, so that is mine from back when I was probably about, what, 7 years old. So I've still got it, it still works. And yeah, that's the 3DS and the 3DS case and the charger. But that gets used quite a bit, so I'll leave it down there. And then say got my beers, box of buds, 18 bottles to retainer, can't go wrong. This little pile of games here is actually waiting to be picked up. My mate's having those. And then it's got my rubbish bin, and yeah, and that's it. We're basically back round to square one. It's got a couple of posters up there. Posters from games and stuff. So that's it. So let's give you a quick overview again. So this is, I'm standing on the corner of the doorway. So this is kind of how it looks. Another quick pan. Again, it's quite dark over there from where you're viewing it from the camera, but in here it's not too bad. Don't like having it too bright over there when I'm gaming. And then the rug, and that is that. So that is basically it, guys. But I hope you like the room. Oh yeah, just thought I'd throw that in. The fire extinguisher is there because you never know. It's just in case. It's just kind of like plonked there. With all these old computers, you never know. But obviously we turn everything off at night. But you never can be too careful with the old stuff. So there we are, guys. I hope you enjoyed the room tour. Please rate, comment and subscribe as usual. Yeah, and it'd be nice to see other people's rooms, for those of you that are lucky enough to have a game room, or just let us know where you game, if you're in your lounge or your bedroom, or how you're set up. That'd be nice to see how everyone else is you know, getting on with gaming in the evenings or whatever you get up to. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching as always, and please rate, comment and subscribe. Cheers guys.